had an event called Sanctuary City Then and Now. And this was an opportunity to talk about the history of being a sanctuary city in Takoma Park and to look forward about what's going to happen now that the new president has issued an executive order regarding sanctuary cities. We have been a sanctuary city in Takoma Park since 1985, and we don't plan to change a thing. We are looking at the president's executive order right now to figure out how that may impact the city, but we feel that being a sanctuary city goes to the core of who we are in Takoma Park.
The event was meant to connect the past and the present and to bring diverse folks in the community together, perhaps for the first time, to really discuss this issue. And I think that happened today. We had a very deep historical presentation. We had a panel about the current status of the ordinance and some of the jurisdictional issues that are coming our way from the federal government through the executive order that Trump issued last week. And so the past and the present came together, but also, and more importantly, we had a large turnout from the Latino community, from the Ethiopian community, from the Takoma Mobilization, the new activists in the community, Maurice Bellinger, Stephen Nye, Holly Sirikas, Ann Slayton did a yeoman's job, Fran Paulner, Susan Robb. Everyone worked very, very hard, and we were able to put all the different elements needed together, including the poetry of Merrill Leffler, who also worked on the committee.
America, I sing you back. Sing back what sung you in. Sing back the moment you cherished breath. Sing you home into yourself and back to reason. This poem is Rosario Morales, a light-skinned mestizo of the Caribbean. It is her daughter, Aurora Levins Morales, together in the same poem. The mother, a child of the Americas. The daughter, up from the shtetl, a Californian Puerto Rican Jew. This poem is Melvin B. Tolson, his rendezvous with America. America, an international river with a legion of tributaries, a cosmopolitan orchestra with 1,000 instruments playing. This poem is Langston Hughes, his Freedom's Plow. If the house is not yet finished, don't be discouraged, builder. To the enemy who would conquer us from without, we say no. To the enemy who would conquer us from within, and we would say no. Together, we, all of us, on the open road, stately, solemn, sad, withdrawn, baffled, mad, turbulent, feeble, dissatisfied, desperate, proud, fond, sick, accepted by men, rejected as well. Whoever you are, come forth. Men and women, come forth. You must not stay sleeping and dallying there in the house, though you built it or though it has been built for you. Will you come travel together? Shall we stick by each other as long as we live?
Takoma Park is a welcoming, diverse city that strives to be a strong, inclusive community. Our job at the city level is to do everything we can to make sure that everyone who calls the city home feels a part of the community, feels safe, and can live their lives with dignity. By building trusting and supportive relationships with immigrants in our community, we are not only benefiting them, but we are benefiting our whole community because we are a safer and more vibrant community.
Government, law enforcement, public works, schools, transportation, nonprofits, neighborhood organizations, businesses, seniors, youth, an endless list of people, departments, events, challenges, goals, everything that encompasses a municipality. Now you can find them all in the Municipal Broadcast Network. Takoma Park, Rockville, Kensington, and 15 other municipalities share the digital channels Comcast 997 and RCN 1057. The Municipal Broadcast Network, life in your community.
Grandma, she's here! Grandma!
Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm here to pick up Mrs. Johnson.
Hey, Mrs. Wells, she's ready.
Mrs. Wells, thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you called the village at Takoma Park.
Okay, let's go.
The Volunteer Ride Program is one of the services offered to seniors who cannot drive themselves and who are members of the Village of Takoma Park. The request for driving can be for doctor's visits, for shopping trips, or for social events. Regional rides are provided as long as volunteer drivers are available.
I use drugs. I really don't want to, but what I want people to know is that it's not easy to just stop. I can't tell anyone what I'm going through, how I feel, all of the pain.
Just because I'm addicted to heroin doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I'm me. I'm not just addiction.
Shame keeps people quiet. Stigma keeps people from getting help. Visit our website. Learn the facts. Team up, Maryland.
From the beginning, some 9 years ago, the people responsible for the festival made sure that all aspects of folk art, music, song, and crafts become an integral part of our community. Because of the diversity of our population and our determination to be representative of the best interests of the American people, I'll take that back, the people of North America, having in our midst many residents from Central and South America and other parts of the world, we were determined that we chronicle every year for the metropolitan area the trials and tribulations, songs of the hope and aspirations of our people. And I'm glad that your presence here today is evidence of the support to that ideal.
I think people need to understand that, sanctuary came out of originally the conditions in Central America, which were largely caused by the United States. I mean, the violence of the military dictatorships and the death squads, they were all creatures of the American government. And that had contributed mightily to destabilizing Central America, to the death squads that hung around after the war was over. So I view what's happened with Central American immigrants as a lot to do with American foreign policy.
It's very important that you organize and know your rights, so in that way you can defend that. So yes, you need to worry about that. And we are going to keep fighting to make sure that we are going to protect our communities. Latinos are impacted, but the Muslim community is tremendously impacted. The immigrants in general, the Asian American, the African immigrants, all of them are impacted by this administration. So that is the reason why we need to come together and work together and fight back together, because that is the only way how we are going to stop these kind of attacks against our communities.
And so we look at that and we think about what we need to be prepared for financially if those funds are in jeopardy, whether they're correctly in jeopardy or not. And that's something that means that taxpayers will probably have to put out more money or be prepared to lose some services, and that's a very scary thing in a small jurisdiction with not much money. And I think it goes a little bit to even former Mayor Porter's point about resources, and that is that part of the reason that we have funds at all is that we're not spending time enforcing federal laws like immigration or clean air or a variety of things that aren't in our bailiwick. We look at what we do at the local level for our local residents with our local tax money, and it's a little scary. We're going into budget season. I'm not going to say it's pretty because it's starting to look really scary to me. But it is going to take a while, I think, for this to be figured out. And so I appreciate that people are aware of it, and I've heard a number of people say they're stepping up if monies are cut to try to help make those differences for the people who receive some of those funds. We're talking about, as I said, senior citizens, people with developmental disabilities, this little kids, safe routes to schools. That's really basic things for a livable community, of a community that cares for each other. I'd like to see those monies be retained.
I happen to be Syrian American. This is a brocade my great aunt gave me from Damascus. I hardly ever take this out. It's a special occasion. The occasion is to stop the prejudice against Syrians and the people from the 7 countries that were banned in this very arbitrary and cruel executive order. This is America. We have a constitution. We have a flag that we uphold. Syrian Americans, Muslim Americans, Latino Americans, Black Americans, women. This is an incredibly diverse population. We all come under the shelter of that flag. We all hold that Constitution in our hands. And this we have to protect.
So I really am glad that you are here, that there's an overflow crowd, because I'll tell you just personally, I have upped my game. I am doing twice as much reading, twice as much calling, twice as much speaking. We have to be absolutely ready because it's coming, and it's coming very soon. And I count on all the beautiful people that represent the spirit of Takoma Park to be able to help us, because unfortunately my brothers and sisters, my Salvadorian brothers and sisters, my Central American, are living in a state of fear. Their children are totally unable to deal with the anxiety and the fear that they feel every day. And if we are able to push back or change, use the same tactics that were used then and invent some other ones, it's going to be only if all of us are working together, very smartly, communicating. We now have the social media. We've already seen how I was so impressed, not only by the Women's March. I mean, that was the best march I've ever been to, and I've been to all of them. Yeah.
Local government, local educational institutions, and local community members all use cable access TV to communicate their message. They depend upon it as an affordable means of outreach. Public educational and government access television empowers local government agencies, individuals, and groups to use the media to speak directly to their constituents in a more direct and cost-effective way. Make sure everyone has a voice. Support your local PEG channels.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Hey, Akili, what are you doing? Taking a selfie with the trash?
Basically, I'm taking a picture of the trash so I can send it with the app.
The app?
Yeah, MyTKPK, the Takoma Park mobile app.
MyTKPK.
Basically, the app allows you to make a request or send a report to the city for any type of maintenance or, in this case, cleaning up trash. Here, let me show you. I'll take a picture, send it with the app, and like that. Now the city can come and clean it up.
Then can I report the street light in front of my house? It has been out for several weeks.
Of course. You can also go to the city's website, tacomaparkmd.gov/mytkpk.
Cannot stop the people fighting to be free.
Peter's always send the water back uphill, and backwater can sometimes seem so very, very still. But we all know that the water never really stops at all. It has no choice, it has to fall. Everybody.
And you cannot stop the clouds from forming. You cannot stop the rain from to the sea, and you cannot stop the people fighting to be free.
Thank you very much.
I thought Takoma Park did the right thing when it became a sanctuary city. I think we continue to do the right thing. I'm happy I live here. Montgomery County offers similar protections to people. It's not really, we're not outside the law. We're not doing anything that's illegal, but to the extent that we can be welcoming and provide institutional support for people who are in trouble, we try to do that.
Sanctuary is not for the immigrants. Sanctuary is for all of us. Sanctuary for our humanity. We're all in it together. We cannot be divided in this. We cannot be divided in this because the whole world is watching and our children are watching. And it's a very serious moment. You know, for someone from Mars who looks down at us for the last 1,000 years, the only thing you can see in this world is movement of the people. That has been, just like the river that flows, movement of the people. No schism flag. You know, people go following nature, following humanity, the heartbeat of humanity, where life will be bearable. And they cannot stop that force.
The Sammy Award for masterful organizing in the indomitable spirit of Nilsa A. Marin, who established CASA in the basement of the Takoma Park, Maryland Presbyterian Church in 1985 to heal the wounds of civil war and exile. This award is presented to Gustavo Torres of CASA.
I'm very excited about this. This is an extraordinary award that I received today. Remember, we are a child of Takoma Park. 32 years ago, right here, in the Presbyterian Church, Tulip Avenue. We born right over there. Since then, we have been working with the community right over here. We have been embracing and embody all the values of the city, and that is the reason why I received this, because it's a recognition of what CASA have been doing for the last 32 years on behalf of the Latino and immigrant community.
You could lose more than you'll ever hope to find. When you reach the broken promised land, with all your dreams slip through your hands, then you'll know it's too late to change your mind. 'Cause you paid the price to come this far, just to find out where you are, and you're still just across the borderline. Up and down the Rio Grande, 1,000 footprints in the sand reveals a secret no one can define. The river flows on like a breath in between our life and death. Tell me who's the next to cross the borderline. When you reach the broken promised land, when all your dreams slip through your hand, then you know it's too late to change your mind. 'Cause you crossed that border to come this far, and you still are where you are, and we're still just across the borderline.
This value of solidarity, of compassion, of love, justice, peace, that is your values, that we believe that is the values that we need to carry out. And you know what? Now we have an extraordinary opportunity right over here in Maryland to make sure that our values, your values, are going to be expanded to the entire state. We are planning to introduce next week a legislation in Annapolis called the Trust Act. It's a very similar legislation what you have right over here. The sanctuary city. We want to expand it to the entire state. And we need your help to make sure that we accomplish that. And I am very sure that you calling your delegate and your senators that, by the way, strongly support this legislation. It's so very important that we work together because we need to send a very strong message that we are one family right over here in Takoma Park and in the state of Maryland. Thank you very much.
I don't think, unless people are committed to a long struggle, that this is going to go away. That we really have to realize it's not one day and it's not one demonstration, but we're going to have to look at the things that the government's doing, and we're going to have to be willing to go out in the street and say, not for us, this isn't the country we want to be in.
The idea today was to present the facts about the ordinance, the history of the ordinance, to bring experts in who are already working on the implications and the impact of the ordinance. But this is just a beginning, and you could see at the end of the event there are many organizations and people that are already mobilized and moving on this and many other issues.
I'd like residents to take away from this event that we have a long history in Takoma Park of being a welcoming community, that we believe that everyone who calls the city home should feel safe, should feel respected, and that they can live their lives with dignity. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Thank you. Have a good day.